Hello and welcome to ESPI Online Speaking Spree series. In this series, we bring to you sample answers and detailed evaluation of Part 2 questions, which is often called the cue card section as well. So, without further delay, let us look at the topic for this video. In this video, we have covered everything you need to excel at the topic mentioned before. At first, we will look at the different ways you can generate ideas on this topic. Second, we will listen to an actual candidate's sample answer, and then look at the detailed scoring and evaluation for this answer. Post that, we will provide you with topic-specific vocabulary, and some context-specific linking phrases, which you can use to increase your scores. So, do watch the video till the end, to make the most of it. The topic covered today is, describe a time when you had to go to a hospital or see a doctor. You should say, what was the problem? When did it happen? And how did you feel about it? So, are you ready? Let us see how this topic can be tackled using different approaches. Most topics which appear in Part 2 of the IELTS test are very common incidents which most of us have experienced in some or the other form. This topic is also one of those common, day-to-day scenarios. In such topics sometimes, one may take the content part very lightly as the topic sounds very easy. However, the student should remember that in the IELTS test, one's speaking is graded on the basis of how well he can maintain a flow, how clear he is, how variedly he uses vocabulary, and how accurately he uses grammar. The content may be real, imaginary, or a mix of both. The examiner is less interested in the authenticity of the content, and more interested in the quality of command over the language, and the delivery of the speech. Do note that the student should not contradict any universal laws and facts like, I jumped off the Berlin Tower, or, the Indian Ocean is adjacent to the USA. This would certainly attract negative traction to the student's score. Well, so you may ask, what can one say in this topic? The first step is to think about an event. Now remember, the more time you take in choosing an event out of your memory, the less time you have to think about the other parts of the question. So, as soon as you get such a topic, just take any one of the quick actions shown. In the first choice, you can pick up an actual incident from your recent past. In the second one, you choose to talk about a fictional incident from a movie you recently watched. Remember, the emphasis is on recent events. The reason is simple, to not waste extra seconds on recalling the incident. Again, remember, it is not necessary that all details of your answer are authentic. Your focus should be correct, and fluent English usage. Now, as you may have picked up any of the mentioned quick actions, let us see the points which you can cover. With regular practice, it should take you about 30 seconds to think and write down these points. Firstly, when. Most people mention the date or about how long ago the incident took place. One way to add up more content here is to talk about your life phase or age. Maybe you were in college and missed an important event due to this hospital visit, or maybe it was summer and you could not go to a particular holiday you had planned. Secondly, the problem itself. Mention in detail which part of your body was affected, and how was it causing discomfort to you. You could also spice it up by adding some intensity using phrases like, it was unbearable, or, my leg almost felt numb. Go on to mention any possible cause which you believe resulted to this problem. Remember, we are not going off topic, we are going deep topic. Finally, speak about the treatment which the doctor prescribed. You could speak a bit more by adding some talk about additional home remedies you used to cure the problem faster. Finally, close the talk on a positive note, mentioning how you were fine at the end. You could possibly add a few seconds by explaining how pleasant your life has been after recovering from that situation. If you cover all or most of the above content cues, trust us, you would certainly score high. To guide you better, we have mentioned an approximate number of seconds which you must spend on each cue point, ensuring that all of them are covered sufficiently. Now, let us look at a model answer, shall we? Let us hear an actual student answering this question, in order to get an objective, and a real picture of the content and grading patterns.
No one really likes to visit doctors and hospitals. It's a scary feeling for most of us, and I'm no different. I really dislike going to hospitals and doctors. They give me a very weird and eerie feeling, and but sometimes there are situations where we need to visit the hospital or the doctor, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, and we need to be extra cautious and extra careful. So there was one time when I had to go to the hospital during the pandemic. I was having a fever. I had a fever since 2 days, which was not subsiding even with the help of medicines. So there was no choice but to go to the doctor and ask him what are the next steps to be taken. He examined me and told me that I should rest for a day and take particular medicines, and if it does not subside, then we should go for a COVID-19 test, which is also known as the RT-PCR. I was of course scared. This was about 2 months ago. It was in the peak of the second wave of the pandemic, and everywhere there was chaos and there were no places in hospitals to get admitted, and I was obviously scared for myself and my family. Although it was not that severe, but of course it was a scary situation. I kind of knew that it was the COVID-19 disease. I got tested the next day, and for my surety, it was the positive result. After which I secluded myself, isolated for 14 days, and took my treatment on time with medicines and all the other precautions as advised by the doctor. And then I was fine. Thankfully, no one from my family got infected with it, and even I was not having severe COVID-19 symptoms.
Great. The speaker is clear and has spoken at length. But there are quite a few lapses. She has taken some unnecessary pauses which reflect fluency issues. She has also repeated few words, seeming not very confident about them. There are minor grammar errors too. All in all, the candidate is moderately fluent, uses some variety in vocabulary, and almost uses range of complex grammatical structures correctly. The major gainers and losers are described in detail in the coming slide. This one is about a 7 band score. What do you think? Here are the top gainers and losers for the candidate, in brief. Read these well, as you can include the gainers in your talk, and avoid the losers to get a better band score. Here are some more resources that you can use with this topic. Do go through them and use the words and linkers regularly, to include them in your natural course of language. Alright friends, that's it for this video. Hope this video helped you. Do keep preparing for IELTS speaking section regularly, and let us know in comments about your IELTS journey. If you found this video useful, do like and share, to help others, and subscribe to our channel, for more such content. Adios.